Hello YouTube, you just heard a couple riffs that I like to play on my microtonal guitar. So that's this guitar here. It has some quarter tone frets. Those are frets added in between the normal frets on a guitar in some places. And if you're a fan of the band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, this fretboard configuration will look familiar because that band uses similar guitars on some of their records. And so actually the first time I ever heard King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard was when they were playing their song Billabong Valley. When I saw that video, I immediately knew I wanted to have a guitar like the Flying Microtonal Banana for myself. Now at the time, I couldn't find any affordable pre-built microtonal guitars, and I didn't have any experience building custom guitars. So I tried to build a guitar myself, and because I didn't have any idea what I was doing, the result was really unique looking. And even to this day, when I play this guitar, some people ask me, where did you get that guitar? Or how did you build that guitar? So I'm going to show you how I built this guitar. Okay, so I actually bought a guitar kit. So it comes with the neck and the body pre-cut, although not finished. And here you can see me trying to practice putting designs into the body. But so first I started on the fretboard because that's obviously the critical component of this microtonal guitar. So I start off just by defining the places where I want to add the extra frets. This is actually a really interesting question. I think there are maybe better places you could put the frets on a guitar to give you more microtonal notes. In the end, I just decided to go with the same configuration that King Gizzard uses. So first I marked it out with a knife and then used a saw to get the groove as deep as the grooves on the existing frets. I mean, this wasn't a precise measurement, I just went by eye. So once we have all the grooves cut, we need to add the fret wire. So the fret wire basically is this wire that you cut the frets out of, but you have to bend the fret wire, and that's because the fretboard itself has this bend in it. So you can buy a set of fret wire benders, or if you're like me, you can use your naturally given fret wire benders and bend the wire just fine. So once I've bent the wire and I've cut it into pieces that are roughly the right length, a little bit longer than they should be, I sand them down to get rid of the nasty edges, and then I use clamps to secure them in place and super glue to bond them together. And then I need to go back with a filer and a fret crowning tool to get them to be the same height as the rest of the frets. And I use some tape to protect the fretboard from all the dust that I generated in the process. But anyway, here's what the fretboard itself looks like after all those steps are finished. I only went up about halfway up the octave because it wasn't really worth accessing those super high microtonal notes. But then it's on to the headstock. And I wanted this particular design to go on the headstock. It says Thylacine. If you don't know what a Thylacine is, look it up. It's an Australian marsupial that went extinct in the 1930s. Somehow it felt like it fit the theme of this guitar. So I actually used a wood-burning tool, which is basically a super hot soldering iron, to etch the design into the headstock. And as you can see, it has this really nice organic appearance that, again, just really fit the aesthetic of the guitar. So next, I wanted to create a stripy pattern on the guitar. And to do this, I traced out the shape of the guitar on some cardboard, put some tape down, cut out the stripes with a knife into the tape, and then removed the tape and placed it onto the body of the guitar to create a mask that I could then use to color the exposed wood. And then to color the exposed wood, I used something called wood stain. So this is a product you can get at a hardware store. Basically, it seeps into the wood and gives it a really long-lasting natural color. So here you can see I'm out in the garage applying a couple coats of wood stain into the guitar. Now this guitar body is made out of basswood and it has these really prominent grains, and the wood stain actually seeps into the grains, and this gives it kind of this fuzzy look. I don't know, it would look bad in some contexts I think, but here it looks really nice. The next step is to apply oils to the guitar. So I didn't go for any polyacrylate finish, so I didn't go for any finish that would give it a nice glossy look. It's going to end up looking really matte, which again is fine for this aesthetic. So all I need to do are apply several coats of oils to the neck and body of the guitar. So the neck receives linseed oil and the body receives Danish oil. And so using the sandpaper mixes the wood dust and the oil together to really accentuate the smooth finish on the outside. And the result on the body is wood that feels really nice to the touch, kind of unfinished, almost like a really nice piece of driftwood that you find on the beach that's just really nice to hold in your hand. And then it was a matter of putting together all the electronics. So that includes the pickups, the Floyd Rose bridge and tremolo system, the tuners, and so on and so forth. So after I got all the electronics in place, the guitar was pretty much looking ready, but it was not ready to play at all. And this was due to a number of problems that was really the fault of the manufacturer of the guitar kit. The biggest problem was that the guitar would not stay in tune for more than a few seconds of playing. And the culprit was the Floyd Rose bridge at the base of the guitar there. It's super low quality, and it needed to be locked in place so that the bridge wouldn't move around at all. Of course, so once I had that locked in place, the guitar was playable. There's still a ton of problems with the guitar. It has pretty bad neck dive. The tuners are terrible. One of the pickups doesn't work. The bridge pickup, I just never bothered replacing it. I never use it because it doesn't work. All in all, I think the manufacturer of the kit messed up just about every aspect of the guitar that they could, and I had to work around all of the problems. And eventually I got around all the problems and made a guitar that I really love, somehow. I could complain about all of these problems, but the company that made it, which is called Fretwire, their website disappeared soon after I ordered the product. I think they went out of business, so I guess somebody was complaining. Anyway, that's enough rambling. I hope this video was able to inspire or aid some of your custom guitar projects, or if not, I hope it was interesting to watch me figure out how the heck to build a custom guitar with no experience. Here's one more guitar riff, and I'll see you later.